Sorry, sorry, Browns. But you know how it's been, Browns fans. You know. And if I'm a Browns fan, I'm trying to think of what fan base should be the most nervous on the brink of the season. And I would say it's the Browns because it's like you're opening a Christmas present and you have no idea you truly have no idea what's in the box. What's in the box? You have no idea what's in the box. It could be something really, really good. It could be something really, really bad. And nobody seems to know, Peter. What do you know? What do you think? And it all begins with the guy they give $46 million per year, fully guaranteed over 5 years, too, and he only played in 6 games last year because of his suspension, Deshaun Watson. What do you think he's going to do? What did you pick up from camp?
Well, I picked up that everybody in that organization, everybody on that team, has the pom-poms out about Deshaun Watson. Oh, what a great offseason he's had. He took the players, took the whole offense to Puerto Rico. He worked out with everybody in Florida, worked out here in Berea, the suburb of Cleveland where the Browns facility is. Everybody is very, very bullish on Deshaun Watson. Well, what would they be exactly? Is there any other way? Is there any other thing that when you ask Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore, how's Deshaun Watson going to be? And look, I will say this. The one thing I heard that might advance the ball a little bit down the field is that the one thing about his off season that I think is really important is that he embraced all the stuff he had to do and thinking about himself. What caused his life to go off the rails as horribly as it did? And my understanding is that the people who have treated him have had a very positive impression of where Deshaun Watson is mentally right now and in accepting what exactly has happened to him. Now, we'll see. I mean, he's one of those players who there's going to be a very vocal minority of fans, not only around the country, but still in Cleveland, who wish the Browns had never signed him and never paid him all that money. So I think that is one of the things that he's going to always have to put up with. Every road trip is going to be the same, and at least for a while. And so there's that. The one other thing in a football sense that I think is going to help Deshaun Watson is that the Cleveland Browns have gotten a very good reclamation project in Elijah Moore, the former high draft pick of the New York Jets, who had a debacle of a year with the Jets, goes to the Browns in trade, and basically he now is going to be the sort of Swiss Army knife of that offense. He's going to play some in the backfield. He's going to be a move receiver. He's had an excellent training camp with the exception of a rib injury he suffered that knocked him out for about 7 or 8 days. But he is the guy who Kevin Stefanski told me, who a lot of people told me, just watch Elijah Moore. He's going to be a real difference maker for this team this year. So look, it's all set up for him, Mike. And think about this. You look at opening day, Cincinnati at Cleveland. And Joe Burrow is 1-4 against the Cleveland Browns. He's better against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid than he is against the Cleveland Browns. And so you say, well, geez, how could that be? Well, who knows how that could be? But Joe Burrow coming back from the calf injury, we're all assuming he can play, but he comes back from this calf injury, and yet the biggest story in that first game, to me anyway, is going to be, will the real Deshaun Watson please stand up? So that I think that is, there's a lot of real interesting games, compelling games in week one. No more interesting or compelling game than Cincinnati at Cleveland for a lot of reasons.
Well, and that puts even more pressure on Deshaun Watson because to the extent there is a segment of the fan base that is still kind of quietly or not thinking we never should have traded for this guy, we never should have paid this guy. If he stinks, they're going to get louder, and they're going to wag the finger and say, I told you so. That adds more pressure to him to not stink. That adds more pressure to him to pay the return on the investment. They're into year 2 of that investment. Last year was a waste because he wasn't there enough games to make a difference. That was $46 million. Now, they saved a lot of it because of I can't remember how they worked out that salary last year.
Yeah, because his salary was so low. Yeah.
Right. It was a huge signing bonus and a very low salary. So they made a huge investment last year, huge investment this year. We never talk about the draft picks they gave up because the focus is the fully guaranteed contract, but at some point they have to get something back for him. And it's 3 years now since we've last seen him play a full season, start to finish. Can you get it back after 2021, no football, 2022 turned upside down and inside out with everything that was happening, even though he only has himself to blame for what happened. And it's good to know that the people who were giving him treatment believe that he's learned and he's grown, because it felt like a year ago after the suspension was announced, he still didn't quite embrace what he had done. And he's still got a couple of pending civil lawsuits last time I checked. So I agree with you. He's a huge mystery. It makes the Browns a huge mystery because they're only going to go as far as Deshaun Watson can take them. And that week 1 game, there's a lot of great week 1 games. You know, they could have given us some of the crap games on the schedule, and we would have gladly taken them because we're so hungry for football. But there's some great games looming. And it all starts in 6 days with Lions Chiefs, and then in 9 days with that full slate, including Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.